What up, everybody? I'm trading live right now on my YouTube channel. Join on in on my YouTube channel. If you want to see my screen, join in to my YouTube channel. Join in to my YouTube channel if you're on Instagram. If you want to watch me trade live, go to my YouTube channel. You can watch me trade live on my YouTube channel. Laptops around. Whoa. Okay. Good. There, game. Where's my cell phone? Right there. Okay. All right. Beautiful. What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Baby.
Let's go. Good stuff. We about to jump into this market and see what the market has in store for us. 1 second. All right. Okay, there we go. Hopefully y'all enjoyed everything yesterday. Hopefully y'all enjoyed Myron yesterday. Let's see. There we go. Gary, did you hold puts yesterday? Or you got out of your puts?
I got out of them, Chris.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, I should have just, when that big boy candle went down the first time, I should have just watched it and just should have kept it going. But oh well. I got out, made some money. I didn't lose no money.
That's good. I know you said you was gonna get out around what, 390 something, if I'm not mistaken. You said.
Yeah, that was initially the goal. Then it started going back up.
Right.
And then that's what put the fear in me. But I should have just measured it and said no. But I didn't. So I got out early. That's why I only made like $45.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely had the right thought process though. That was still good. Definitely right thought process.
Yeah, I saw it too, man. I was like, man. Gosh.
That's good though. Congratulations. And the thing about it is also when it fell down, like, cause I mean you've seen it in the past happen multiple times before, right? When it actually fell down that big boy, the fact that it did not continue, that was a sign like, okay, maybe we might be going back up. And it did, and we did have what, two nice green size candlesticks that happened.
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely that was definitely a trigger. But yeah.
And what time frame was those green ones?
I think it was the 15-minute time frame, if I'm not mistaken.
And what time of day was it?
This was right around, what is it, Gary? Was it like 10 o'clock? Or it was like 10:30?
Yeah, it was around 10. I don't have my paper in front of me. I was at work. But yeah, it was like around 10-ish. 10:05.
Mm-hmm. I think y'all just missed what Gary just said too though. Gary said he was at work. He was at work.
Yeah.
And he
was at work.
And he did this and made money, right? So
yeah.
No excuses. I love it. All right, if you're on Instagram, join on to my YouTube. If you're on Instagram, you want to see my screen. If you're on Instagram, join on to the YouTube.
What? So what? Do what?
Oh no, I'm talking like 15 different people right now. So different audiences. So I got them on Instagram too. I go live on Instagram. Let everybody know I'm on my YouTube for this Wealth Wednesdays. All right. So let's get into this market, man. That's what I want to do. Let's get into this market. Let's see here. Boom. There we go. All right, Royal, we good? Text me if we good, Royal. If you can hear me, text me if we good, Royal. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. So what we have here, we have our support and resistance levels. If you did pre-market high, pre-market low, that's good too. If you did the pivots, that's good as well. I love both of them, okay? I love both of them. Also, now what do we have here? What do we have right here? What time is it? Somebody tell me, what time is it? Rhonda, was you entering the previous day high and low? The previous day high and low. Make sure you was entering the previous day high and low.
Yeah, using the Yahoo information.
Yeah, what numbers did you get?
Let's see. I got for my pivot point. I got 398.51. Support 1 397.93. Support 2 397.37.
Let's make sure I wasn't.
R1 399.07 and R2 399.65.
Okay, let me make sure I wasn't using the wrong one. Okay, so I got my previous day. My previous high is for March 7th, 40442. And what you got?
Oh, okay. Okay.
What you got?
I'm looking at today's date.
Okay, gotcha.
You got 444. Yeah, 4442. You know, never mind. I put in the 399.10 for the high.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's what it was. That's what threw me off. Okay. I see it.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
My phone blowing up. Let's close that off now. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so yes, exactly, everybody. We have a decision-making time, right? We have a DMT time right now inside of the box, inside of the pivot points, or whatever your support and resistance is. Okay, so we do have that right now. Jerome Powell speaks at 10 a.m. Everybody, he's testifying before the Senate. Yesterday, he testified before the Congress, but today he's going before the Senate. So this is going to be a long, drawn out, I guess you can say, when they question him, or interrogation, I guess you can say, right? So it's going to be long and drawn out. As you can see yesterday, look at this beautiful love story that happened yesterday, right? Right here. Beautiful love story. What time did we have yesterday? What time was it yesterday? It was decision-making time right here. Boom. Decision-making time hit, and let's look and see what happened. Decision-making time, we're dating. We're dating. Boom. We fall down. Boom. We fall down. Nice push down. Far away from the owner. When we far away from the owner, we know what we have to do. We know what time it is, right? What time is when we far away from the owner? It's time the dog has to come back. So we do not go chasing waterfalls. TLC, right? Don't go chasing waterfalls when it's running away. We see it come back. Boom. It came back right here. Once it came back. Okay. Once it came back right here. Boom. Push back down here. Boom. Came back to the owner. This time it broke above it. But remember, we do not have to exit unless it closes above it, right? So boom. Came down here, kind of closed above it, so that would have been a nice exit point somewhere around right here. But we see it came back right here, and boom, fell down again. Came back to the owner, fell down again. Came back to the owner, fell down again, and then we closed the day out right here. Okay. Then, as you can see, overnight, decision-making time all day, right? Decision-making time. That's all we've had so far. Overnight is a decision-making time. The reason why we've had a decision-making time is because Jerome Powell is testifying right now, so the market is waiting to hear his responses. And if you were on yesterday, well, you all wasn't on yesterday, but people in the program, we actually watched some Jerome Powell and things that he stated. It was not great. right? It was not great. Some information was information that we already knew, but other information was quite interesting to the point where there's a possibility that interest rates go higher. Okay. They took interest rates down to 0.25, but it's a possibility that the interest rates can go higher. He did not shoot down that. He said that it's definitely a possibility depending on what the data says. Okay. So right now, if we're looking at the market, of course, I do not trade before 5 o'clock. Not 5 o'clock, before 10 o'clock. Okay. So right now, you can kind of see the market is not doing too much. We do have that decision-making time. We had 3 5-minute candlesticks going down, and we right around this decision-making time on the 5-minute, on the 1 hour, and on the it's a little farther away on the 1 hour, and on the 15-minute as well. Okay, and y'all feel free to ask questions too. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions. So
I have a question on the when we're picking. I'm still a little unclear when we start picking the options if we want to do it today. If I do a day trade, where we enter in, and I do remember you had the delta to do the delta, which would cut your costs a little bit and still do multiple deltas.
Yep.
So that you could try to get your money's worth.
Yes.
So do you normally just go in at a delta of around 12-13%? 0.1, 0.12, 0.13. I mean, that's what you did last time, and that's when you explained that example.
Yep. So it's different, right? So what you guys to get comfortable at, understanding what delta you want to have personally. So the more and more you trade, when you're going through these 100 trades, and then you're also looking at the value of your account to understand how much money you have in your account and how much you want to spend per trade and all that good stuff. So when you're going through that process, you will start understanding, okay, what delta do I want? Okay, how much money do I want to spend? If I come here to the option chain right now for, say, if we go to Apple, right? And on this Apple chain right here, I come here to the option chain, and this is March 31st. So for March 31st, I come down here and say, hey, I want to spend $1,000 probably. Say I want to spend $1,000. And this one right here is roughly 17-cent delta, right? Okay, I'm just hypothetically speaking. Right here, if I want to buy 10 contracts, this would be $840. And 10 contracts, this would give me 170-cent delta. Okay, so I'll spend $810 right here on this contract. And I will have 170 delta because it'd be 17 cents times by 10, right? Now, if I go up here and want to spend $840, I'm going to spend $870 right here for this one contract, and I will only have a 74-cent delta. Only have a 74-cent delta, right? So you tell me which one is the better deal. To have a 170-cent delta, spend $840, or have 10 contracts, or have one contract and have a 74-cent delta, and I spend $870. Which one do you think is better?
Yeah, the first one.
The first one is better, right? So you're making more money and you're spending less money, right? Now you get the question is, what delta do you want to be around? When I'm personally trading SPX, I like to have normally around like 100 cent delta. What that does for me, it tells me that every $10 SPX move, I make or lose $1,000, roughly around $1,000. Okay. So what you're going to have to understand is, okay, I have however much money I'm starting with. If I'm starting with this amount of money and start with $1,000 and I only want to spend $500 on my first trade, you say, okay, I want to spend $500 on my first trade. What kind of delta do I want? Do I want a 10 cent? Do I want a 50-cent delta? Okay, how can I get a 50-cent delta with $500? You come here to Apple and say, okay, right here, this is 11-cent delta, 51 cents. Okay, boom. If I come here, I buy 5 contracts. That gives me a 50-cent delta, and I'm only spending roughly around, I meant 5, I meant to buy 10. If I went to buy 10 contracts, boom, I come here, I'm spending $516, and I have a 50-cent delta. No, that's not even a 50 cent. That's a 100-cent delta, right? A 100-cent delta, okay? That's kind of how you're going to have to break it down. The higher the delta, the more money you make. the higher the delta, the more money you can potentially lose as well, or the faster you can lose the money as well. Okay, but at the same time, the main thing for us, what we understand is we have stop loss set, so we're going to be protected regardless. All right.
Did you do that price in your head, or is it listed somewhere?
I did it in my head, but if you go here, you can see it right here. Once you hit confirm send, you can see that it says 516. Right.
Okay, nothing's showing up on your computer. So
Gotcha. So when you hit the confirm send button, let me see. Let me stop sharing right quick. Right here, that confirm send button right here. You see this box pull up on my screen now?
Yeah.
Yep. So it says the cost of this trade, including commissions, is 526. Right. But the way you do the math in your head is fairly simple. Let me show you. So right here, for example, if I buy 5 contracts, how many shares is that?
500.
500. If I buy 10 contracts, that's 1,000 shares, right? So what I would do is I would come right here and say I'm buying 10 contracts, right? And I'm paying 100 per share. So I just times that by what? 1,000, and that gives me $520. So 52 cents times by 1,000 is $520 if I'm not mistaken. Come over here, and I got 11 cents here. And I know I'm buying 10 of them. I just do 11 times 10. That gives me 110.
Chris, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
This is Trezon. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you go back to where you just had the deltas were?
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess I'm confused with that too.
Okay.
Okay, now I do understand the higher that the delta is, like I'm looking like 0.9 or over there, that means you're going to get less contracts. So the lower am I understanding, the lower the delta, like, okay, like where your cursor is, like right there, like 0.07, I'd be able to buy more contracts with that to come up to, if I wanted like what you say, I guess 100% delta.
Yeah, one
I'd
delta.
buy more contracts, but it would cost me less, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, so the delta is like where the 0.7 is, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the 0.31 is the ask?
Yep, that's the ask. How much you're trying to sell it for, correct?
Okay, all right. I understand. I'm looking at this on my phone right now. I'm not even near a computer. I'm looking at this on my phone. So I'm having to zoom in and stuff trying to see these numbers.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Look, I'm here.
Hey, that's
small, but
hey,
I'm here.
that's all you can do. All you can do is just show up. It's gonna all just start being beat into your brain day after day after day. Okay, that's it.
I'm telling you, boy. I told you I keep dreaming about it.
I'm telling you, it's gonna take over your. It's gonna take over your life.
Like, please let me get some sleep.
It's definitely gonna take over your life. Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it does. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's awesome though. But I was looking up. I had to look up when you kept talking about Jerome Powell. It's like normally, as far as political stuff and everything, I'm really, really good. And for some reason, it was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, he's not the head of the Fed. I'm like, yelling. I was like yelling. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I was like, who is this dude again?
He's the chairman.
No concept.
Yep, he's the chairman.
Okay.
Yep, he's the chairman. He's the chair. So he's the one that. So they all come together. The Fed, all the Feds, right? But he's the spokesperson, the head honcho, and he's responsible for raising those rates and lowering those rates.
But didn't it used to be? Wasn't it Janet Yellen before?
No, Janet Yellen, she's still around, but she's not the chairman. I forgot what Janet Yellen is because she speaks a lot.
She's the head of because I'm like, I actually had what is it? The damn, not the Federal Reserve. It's something else in government. Yeah, she's the secretary of something like that.
Yeah, she's something. She's definitely something important because she speaks a lot, and the market does react to what she says as well. But as far as this stock market and everything else, that's the guy.
Okay.
That's the guy. He's the reason for the season.
You guys were talking about, well, we're waiting for him to talk. I'm like, who is this dude? I have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, I'm transparent over here, okay? I don't know what I don't know.
And that's the thing. And that's
I will find an answer, trust me.
and that's the thing about it. most people wouldn't know who Jerome Powell is if they're not in the stock market. Because they have no reason to, right? That's not in that's if you're in the stock market, you care who he is because he's making sure that money do what the money do, right?
Right.
Oh wow, what just happened?
Right. He yelling in Treasury. I knew it had
Yeah,
something-
Treasury. She's a Treasury. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
No problem.
Hey, Chris, quick question.
Go ahead.
Without the pivot calculator,
Mm-hmm.
how would you go about drawing your zones?
You mean drawing pivots or drawing just support and resistance?
Support and resistance.
Previous day high, I would use previous day high, previous day low. Pre-market high, pre-market low would be would be how I do it, right? So I have, like, keep in mind, I have my other laptop that's back here. I have TradingView. So my pivots are actually on TradingView. I normally do not draw pivots on Thinkorswim, right? I normally I have it on my TradingView calculator. I normally do pre-market high, pre-market low on Thinkorswim. But I'm doing it right now with everybody because I know some people will not have TradingView. So I would prefer you do calculations instead of just doing your pre-market high, pre-market low. Go ahead and do your calculations and look at this push down. Yep. So I would so that's how I would do it. And look, y'all, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. As soon as 10 o'clock hit, what happened? The market closed. Listen, Jerome Powell hasn't even said anything yet, y'all. The man just everything just like, okay, we finna start, and he didn't say anything. He hasn't even breathed a word, and the market just started going down. You see what I'm saying?
Nice the one. I'll see you later.
It's-
Yeah.
Look at that big red candlestick on the 5 minute. Look at that. Like, one man should not have all that power, right? So, I'm sorry, Mr. Hines. Did I answer your question?
Somewhat.
Okay, so when you're thinking about, do you understand pre-market high, pre-market low?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how I would draw my zones as far as support and resistance. But I would also go through the same thing we went over in the mastermind: 3 year, 1 week, 1 year, 1 day, 4 hour, right? Go through those, and then when you get to your intraday levels, that's where the pre-market high and pre-market low comes in at.
Got it.
So you can understand those levels. Then also you want to say, okay, do we have supply and demand zones? Okay, what I'm about to draw now, do we have supply and demand zones anywhere on the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame? I love to look at the 1 hour time frame and the 4 hour time frame, where the 1 hour time frame starting off. Okay, that's what I like to look at starting off. And we do have on the 1 hour time frame. Let me mute everybody. Wait a second. I'm hearing some feedback. 1 second. So we have a demand zone on the 1 hour time frame right around, it's pretty wide actually. It's like from 392 to 394. So you can kind of make it somewhere around this area right around here somewhere. I'll bring kind of bring it from 394 to like right around this area. It's pretty wide zone. I'm gonna draw the whole thing. It really could be broken down. I'm gonna draw it right around here. So boom, now we got a 1 hour. Go back, Control Z. Okay, edit properties, boom, boom, boom. All right, so we got that demand zone right there. All right. So we right at the demand zone. Keep in mind on that. And then the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Now, aside from the demand zone, we're on the 1 hour time frame. We're up here to 402. Right around this 401, 402 area. Basically right above the pivot. Right above this pivot right here, we have us a supply zone. Okay. Have a supply zone right around this pivot. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to look at. Look at this candlestick right here forming. Look at this candlestick forming right here. Look at that candlestick that's forming right here. Is that a bullish candlestick or a bearish candlestick for the moment, for this moment on the 15-minute time frame? Is that bullish or bearish?
Bearish.
You saying this? You say it's bearish at this moment right here. Tell me why you think it's bearish. If you think it's bearish.
Oh, because it's going down.
I think it's bullish.
Okay. Tell me why you think it's bullish.
Because it went all the way down, but then the pressure started pushing up. So if you notice that red candlestick is getting smaller, if it continues pressure coming from the bottom, it's going to turn green and it might push through this pivot that's right above it, or the previous day pre-market high.
Yep, that's the pivot. You're right. So that's perfect. No, that's perfect. Don't get caught up on the color, right, of the candlestick, right? It did push down. So at this moment, like at this exact moment we're speaking, because it can definitely change in a matter of seconds, right? But at this exact moment, a red candlestick opens at the top, right? It opened right here at the top. Next thing you know, boom, it flooded down, and fell all the way down here, went from 399 roughly down here to 396 something. Next thing you know, the buyer said, no, sir, no, ma'am. We buying in. Boom, 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 boom. And now we're buying back in. And that body of the candlestick is at the top of the wick. The top of the candlestick is at the body's at the top, signaling to us that the buyers bought in down here and it's pushing up right now. So at this very moment that we're speaking, this is a bullish candlestick, even though it's red. Now, if it starts to fall back down, it can turn right back bearish. Okay, this is a 15-minute candlestick. That's 15 minutes of buying and selling. So this candlestick will be open until 10:15. Okay, until 10:15. So that's why this one would be a bullish. But what I want you to recognize, I want you guys to pay attention to is that we fell down here and we pushed right back up. And look how this candlestick on the 5-minute. That's how it looks on the 5-minute. Fell down, pushed back up. So what we want to see here is we want to see, are we going to get continuation up, or are we going to get some continuation, get some rejection and pushing back down to make that candlestick on the 15-minute go back bearish. Okay.
Okay, I had it. I had that really wrong then. I don't know why. I think someone else said it also. I think Venus was. I was looking at the color and not. Like, I think green is bullish and red is bearish.
Yep. That's the thing about it. It depends on where the body is, especially if it has a wick, a long wick like this. It doesn't matter the color. Only thing that matters is where does the body close it? Okay, where does the body close it, and that's what's going to matter. If the body's at the top like it is right now, that's a bullish candlestick. Just because it's a bullish candlestick doesn't mean that the market is going to continue to go up. No, it does not mean that, but it's a signal for us to start paying attention. Okay, so this candlestick right here, if it closes like it is right now, this is a signal for us to pay attention for this next candlestick. But what we already know is this. We know we're not getting into a cause unless it breaks this pivot right here and hold. Okay? It has to break this pivot right here and hold, because as long as we're under this pivot, we're still in a downward trend. Okay? We're still in a downward trend. We want to see it break above the pivot, hold the pivot, and start to give us some juice going up.
So if the body of the candlestick currently is fluctuating, if it closes down towards the bottom to where the body is very large, then
that's bearish. That's bearish, because what happened is it opened right here, it fell down, the buyers tried to push it back up, but the sellers said no, 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 and they pushed it right back down. Right back down. So that's showing that it's like what you're looking at with this candlestick moving, how it's moving right now. Think about it. It's a fight. It's a fight between the buyers and the sellers. Who's going to win this particular fight? The sellers was winning at first. The buyers fought back, right? Fought back, and then the sellers start to win some more, pushing back down. And now the buyers getting that burst right now, pushing it back up. That's what price action is. Price action is a fight between buyers and sellers.
So if it closed right now where it's at, it would be bullish.
It would be bullish if it closed right here, right now. Now, keep in mind, it's only a signal. It's not a confirmation. It's a signal. This is a signal candlestick to tell us, hey, look at me, pay attention, right? The next candlestick, what I would be looking for in this next candlestick is to see if it falls down, how far does it fall down? And then if it does fall down some, does it wick back up and then eventually break above this candlestick? That's a signal that we're going up here to test this pivot area right here. Okay, that's a signal that we're going to test this pivot area right here. Y'all with me?
Yep.
All right. Now, today, right now, the thing about it is things can kind of be thrown off a little bit, right? The reason why I'm saying thrown off because we have someone that's speaking. We have Jerome Powell speaking right now, right? So Jerome Powell's comments can sway this market up, down, all around, right? So it's very important. It's very, very, very important.
I have a question. You told us this when we set up our original, thing that we put RSI, and we haven't mentioned that much. So
yeah. So if you look at the Thinkorswim tutorial, I talk about the RSI some. I've really, truly, honestly only used the RSI on like the 1 year, 1 day, the 4 hour when it's showing oversold or undersold. So right here, for example. Okay, so right here on the 15-minute, you see that it's the gold area right here. That's the top. That's like the top average, I guess you can say, or the top threshold. Is you can be a resistance, I guess you can say. The gold at the bottom could be your support, your bottom threshold. And what we look for right here to see if it's oversold or overbought. All right. So whenever you see how this line in the middle right here turned red right here. Let me do this. So you
right.
When it turns red like this, that means the stock is oversold. Okay, the stock is oversold. Okay, now when it's oversold, that does not mean it's going to fall down immediately, right? It can actually trade all day and oversold, being oversold, and still don't fall down, right? So that's why I'm more so focused on the a larger time frame. When it's blue right here, like right here, when it's blue, that means the stock is. I'm sorry, when it's red, it's overbought. Okay, when it's red, it's overbought. Sorry about that. When it's red, it's overbought. When it's blue, it's oversold. Okay, when it's blue, it is oversold. All right, and that means that this stock has been sold. It's been selling off. And there's a strong possibility that buyers may start buying in because it may be at a good price. Okay, I like to focus more so on the 1 year, 1 day time frame, or the 1 year, 1 day time frame, or possibly the 4 hour. As you can see right here on the 1 year, 1 day, we were blue, and we were blue for almost from 9:23 all the way to 9:27. So we was blue for 4 days. So that's why I say just because it's oversold does not mean it's going to jump right up. You want to use other indicators along with it. So I use it. I like to see it on my screen just so I can kind of have it down and to kind of just see what the stock is doing, but it's not an indicator that I use to make a decision saying, okay, RSI is blue, get in. I wouldn't do that with RSI. Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so look at this candlestick. This candlestick is still struggling right now, but it's still, the body still close to the top, right? Look like it want to form a doji some sorts. Like you want to form a doji, so let's see. Let's see what the 5 minute look. Let's see what Apple is doing. Remember, everybody, Apple is the major player in the S&P 500. I'm gonna be honest with you, Apple looks strong. Apple looks good right now. It's crazy. Apple's above 150. Decision making time, push up. Dun, dun. Apple looks okay. QQQ, a little struggle, action. Google looks all right. Google looks all right for real. Wow. Google looks good. Microsoft. Wow. Microsoft kind of looking bad. So as you can see, the top 5 players, and like I said, I trade the S&P 500 all day, every day. That's my go-to. That's my ride or die. Like we've been down like 2 flat tires, right? So inside of the S&P 500, the top 5 stocks in the S&P 500 is Apple is the major player, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. So if we go through this right now with Apple, we see Apple is kind of up a little bit. It's above the 90 EMA on the 15-minute. Go down to Facebook. Facebook is beneath the 90 EMA on the 15-minute. Then we have Microsoft is beneath. Google is above. What was the other one I said? Apple. Oh, and Amazon. And Amazon is beneath. So you see, you got 2 that's above, 3 that's beneath. That tells us what? That tells us that it's not what's the word I'm looking for? There's not any consistency between the 5. You got 2 up, 3 down. That's why SPY is more so kind of just decision-making time. Okay?
Chris,
Yep.
so this is Michelle Johnson. So would you have already kind of just done your research and looked to see which option chain you would like to purchase so that when you do make a decision, you know which strike price to go for?
So when I'm looking at it, right, it kind of goes back to the delta. Okay. So right here, for example, if I'm on, like, pick a random stock, right? Just pick any stock you want me to go to that's on my watch list right now, and I'll kind of show you how I do it.
I don't see your entire. Oh, there we go. Let's do Netflix.
Netflix. So I would go to Netflix, go to all products, right? I don't trade Netflix at all, right? At all. So say if I was doing a day trade, I would probably go to, let me get like today is what, Wednesday? I'll probably go to the 17th, right? Matter of fact, the 24th. I go to the 24th and say I got $1,000. If I got $1,000, I'm gonna come down here at the price, and the first thing I'm gonna go look for, I'm gonna look for a 10-cent delta possibly. I want to just see how much a 10-cent delta costs. Because I know if I got $1,000 and I'm going to actually spend $1,000 on this particular trade, I want probably a 1 delta, right? So I come down here, I got a 9-cent delta or 11-cent delta. It's right around 111, right? So I know I can probably, if I want to buy this particular one, I can, right? I'm also looking at this volume right here. What's the volume saying? I see that we got the average volume right around here is 19, 38, 15, 115. So it kind of low, right? Kind of low volume. So I'll say, okay, Chris, if I want a 100-cent delta, I can buy like 4 of these at $325, but that's gonna put me at $1,200 or like $1,200 plus, right? I can come to this 21 right here, got some good volume, it's a 17-cent delta. I can probably buy about 4 of these, and I have roughly around an 85-cent delta. You got good volume, you got higher volume, higher than average volume, right? At 20, it's a 17-cent delta. I can come over here, buy about 4 of them. Okay, I like this one right here. Out the money. Buy 4 of them, $231 price. Buy 4 of them, I'm spending about $900. Under my 1,000, I got roughly around almost an 80-cent delta, and it got some volume in it. Not bad. And I go to this one right here. So I'm looking at my delta volume and the price, the amount of money I'm trying to spend.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
This is Derek Head. I have a question. You know how you chose like which day you want to pick? You notice how it was gold on like the letters?
Yes. Oh, to my right around here.
Well, not just that, but like you know how you were picking which day? How you picked the 17th?
Oh, right here.
Like,
Oh, with the weekly and the gold. Yeah, that I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why those be blank. I never really even looked it up to find out why. To be honest with you.
So those colors, obviously, they must don't matter because we know you got the coin. So.
So I mean, it doesn't make a major difference. And what I can do is look it up and find out why, but it's never made a major difference to me at all.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for all you do.
Hey, no problem. All right, so let's go back to this. Okay, so look right here. Let's go back to SPY. As you can see, remember what I said, right? This is the signal candlestick right here. This is the signal candlestick. This is possibly a confirmation candlestick to see if it's going to actually go up, down, or what it's going to do. In order for this candlestick to go up right here, I do not want to see this candlestick go more than half. So we almost at half. It went up to 399 and 399, 396. So it's somewhere around this area, right? We want to see it kind of stay above the half mark. If it is going to go up here and test this pivot point, we will see a big boy. We will see a wick happen, and we will see a movement up above this level right here. Okay, we'll see movement up above this candlestick high right here. If not, we can still see this. We can start seeing this trend down slowly. Because what's this telling us is the buyers won this particular candlestick, right? They did win this 15-minute candlestick because the body's at the top. But the price action in the story is telling us that even though the buyers won that particular one, the sellers are still pushing this thing down and they're in control. Look at this body right here. Look how this body is forming. Look how this body is forming. Look how it's coming on down. Okay? That's why I said we do not buy calls in this situation today until we break above this 408 level. No calls are in play until we break above that level. Right? Puts. When are puts in play? Puts are in play when we break below this level. And honestly, if you are buying puts, right, if you was to buy puts right now, I would tell you to be very cautious because you have a strong demand zone right here. Okay, you have a strong demand zone right around here. Okay, strong demand zone. And also things are definitely going to be a little slow because Powell is speaking. All right, bye, babe. Because Powell is speaking. So things will be a little slow. All right, let's see if we have any other plays. I don't see any plays at this moment. So just being patient. Remember, like I always tell you, don't force any plays at all. If the play is not there, the play is not there. Do not force it. Also, if you're on YouTube right now, they say go ahead and hit that like button. I'm getting used to YouTube. Hit the like button, share button, like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff they be telling you to do, and share this out with your friends as well. Share it out with your friends. I always tell everybody, listen, when you start getting a couple dollars, you don't want to just get the dollars yourself. You want everybody to get the dollars, right? You want all your friends to get the dollars. Somebody tell me something that they see right quick. I want to see if anybody sees something right quick. Tell me if you see something.
Okay, what I see is
Somebody just said it, right? Somebody said high or low. Yep. What else? What was you about to say? Somebody else about to say.
It looks like it might be trending, up towards that pivot point.
Yep. So think about this. That higher low is absolutely correct. When this wick down right here and came back up, this formed as a low, right? Now, remember I said with this particular candlestick, we want to, if it goes down, we want to see is it going to wick back up, have a strong wick. Okay? The goal is not necessarily the goal, but we want to see like price action. We want to see if we're going to continue to make a higher low. Right now we're making a higher low, but this candlestick is not closed yet, but we are making a higher low. Okay? If this one closes and this low right here stays above this one, so make a higher low, now we're going to look for the next candlestick to see if that next candlestick is going to stay above this particular wick. Okay? If you do that, that's a higher low for you, and you can start a premature trend line. Right there. Y'all see that? How that can start a trend line right there. It's premature. Remember, it takes 2 points to start a trend line, but that third point, that third interaction, or that third time it touched that trend line and bounced off like we would think it want to do, that confirms the trend line. Okay? That confirms the trend line. Okay? Another thing, if you're day trading right now, and I know I'm saying another thing, what I want you to do is just listen to what I'm kind of saying and watching the flow of what I'm saying, right? Somebody tell me Is this level right here significant? Where I got these line at right now. Is this a significant level, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me why this level right here is significant.
It's considered like a support
Resistance.
Exactly. It's a
Inside.
it's a intraday resistance level. Chris, what do you mean intraday resistance level? If we go back right here, right? We have our pivots, great. Okay, but we look right here on the 15-minute time frame. It couldn't break right there. We come right there. As soon as the market opened, it couldn't break. Boom. It stopped right there, pushed back down. This one right here didn't go all the way up to it, but it kind of met it. This one right here pushed that level, touched that level, and kind of pushed back down some. This one right here is at that level and trying to break through or push back down. This is a nice level of intraday level of resistance. Okay, a nice intraday level of resistance. So what you can start doing is you can start drawing these particular levels like this, even though we know, right, that we're not getting into calls unless it breaks this pivot area. Okay, but just to understand, for you guys to start recognizing, start seeing how you can draw interest, especially for you day traders, how you can draw particular support and resistance levels. This is a perfect level right there. That's a perfect level right there. This level hit 15 minutes, another 15 minutes, couldn't break. Came, broke right here, fell right back beneath it. All right? I'm going to remove it because I don't need it right now. And you can look down here as well at the bottom. Okay? Pre-market, that's why I say on some screens I have my pre-market lows, and some screens I have my pivot levels. Look at this. Hit right here, bounce. Hit right here, bounce. Hit right here for 15 minutes. Hit right here for 15 minutes body. Hit right here 15 minutes body. That's a nice area right there. So if I wanted to make my intraday box level lower, say for example I did not have a pivot right here, right? And I wanted to make my intraday box lower, I can have a box right here in a decision-making time inside of the box. And look at this story it's telling. We're dating, the relationship is going down, down, down. Start singing Keith Sweat, Johnny Gill, my. We come back up. Are you going to let me into your life? Please let me in. Let's get married. No. Fall back down here. We back to Jack. We back to singing Jerry Levert. Tyrese, All the Love Songs, New Edition. Come back up. Are you going to let me into your life? I don't think so. No, it's not happening. Fall back down here. I'm back to singing my love songs. Test again. It would test right here. Fell back down here. Back to singing my love songs. Came back up here. Tested again. Rejected. No, I'm not going to let you in my life. Pushed back down here. Broke all the way through. Soon as it broke through, came back. I started really singing. I started begging. Temptations, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, right? If I got to sleep on your doorstep all night and day just to keep you from walking away, my friends can laugh. I don't mind. Just to get you back on my side. Boom, right here. Go back up and test. What happened? It pushed back down here. I start singing again, 5 heartbeats, the whole 9, and boom, boom, boom. This is how when you start day trading, this is how you will start drawing intraday levels of support and resistance. Okay? The smaller you can make your box, the better. Okay? The smaller you can make your box, the better. All right? Y'all with me? Any questions? Y'all with me? That makes sense. That makes sense. Put a 1 in the chat. If it makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm still getting confused when we talk about the wick versus the body.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you make decisions on the wick. Sometimes you make decisions on the body.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep getting confused.
Yep.
When you say you test intraday lows, are you talking about like you draw the trend line off the wick?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a principle? Always draw trend lines off the wick?
Nope. So think about this right here. So what you're going to start recognizing and realizing is this. Okay. So I have this trend line right here off of the wick, right? The reason why I have it off of the wick, because the wick right now, this is a premature trend line, right? But it's standing out, right? It's standing out right now because it fell down, boom, big wick. Fell down, fell short, higher high, and push back up. Okay, so that's off of the wick, right? But if I come right here, I can draw a trend line right here off of the body. Not at the wick right here, but the body's hitting. Because what I'm drawing it is I'm making it off of what the price action is telling us. Okay. This trend line right here is showing wick, body, body, body. It broke through, but what came right back and stopped right here? The body. What hit right here? The body. Boom. What happened right here? Broke through. Because that's what was offering at the time, the body. That's what stood out the most. Right here, for example, if I come yesterday. Right? If I come yesterday's not a really good example of a trend of one. But today right here, there's not really a body right here, right? But there's wicks. Not really a body, but there's wicks. So that's why I do the wick. So what you will start seeing is if the price action is going to tell you to draw it at your wick, to draw it at the body, or draw it at the wick level, at the wick. And that's just going to come with more reps, right? So that may kind of go over your head a tad bit, but once you start seeing it, you will start understanding it more. Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yeah, like I said, it just depends.
Yep, it really does depend. So what happened now is, so say for example, I want to draw this on the body. I'll come right here and say I'm drawing it on the body right there, right? But the body only hit one time. The wick hit 2 times. So price action is being respected off of the wick because the body only hit 1 time, the wick hit twice, right? So right now what we're seeing is this. We're seeing if this candlestick right here stays above this trend line, right? It's going to confirm to us that this is a valid trend line. If it breaks it and closes beneath it, it's going to wipe this trend line out and it's no longer valid. Okay, but this candlestick is going to be the confirmation between yay, nay, if this is a strong 15-minute trend line or not.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. You might have answered this. I just stepped away for a quick second. With the two lower, the higher high or the higher lows, right? If that third candle, like say if it closed, like the lowest the wick was above the VWAP, would that still be considered on the trend line, even though it doesn't touch a point?
So as long as it stays above this trend line, it's still considered a higher. It's considered a higher high. Okay. A higher low. And yes, this trend line is valid. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't have to come all the way down to touch it.
Nope.
It's above it. It's still in line with the trend line.
It's still in line with the trend line. Exactly.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay, Chris. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good at finding the intraday like support and resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got the eye for it. I can even identify the trend line, but I'm struggling with identifying the zones for you to like get into the play.
So let's talk about zones. So when you're saying zones to get inside the play, break that down a little bit more for me so I can understand.
I'm talking about your pivot point.
Okay, got it. So right now, if we're looking at the pivot points, right? The one I highlighted orange is the actual pivot point, okay? That's the actual pivot point, the powerful pivot point based off of data from yesterday, okay?
And that would be an entry point.
That's the entry point. So when you're looking at it, you say, okay, I see it's coming up to it, right? And as you can see, this is a nice formation coming up to it, but it can come to this pivot point and reject and push back down, right? I want you to think about this pivot point being like when we discuss when we discuss supply and demand. When we discuss support and resistance, what do we say when it's coming up towards resistance? We wanted to do what? Break through. As soon as it break through, do we enter in?
You want to retest.
You wanted to retest.
No.
Treat the pivot the exact same way. The pivot is basically it's a strong level of support or resistance based off of calculations from previous data from yesterday. That's all the pivot is. So you treat it just like you would treat a support level, the same way you would treat a resistance level as far as the way that you play it.
Okay, and the pre-market high and the pre-market low will give that to me.
Well, right here, this is the pivot. So it's not the pre-market high, the pre-market low. This is the pivot calculation. Okay, so when we get the pre. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I missed your question. You saying the previous day high, the previous day low will give you the pivot areas, right? Yeah. So the calculator I gave you guys, I think it's the previous day high, previous day low, and the previous close will give you that calculation that I put into the it's in the deck as well. But the calculation that I put inside of the pivot calculator, it gives you that. So it gives you the pivot, then it gives you the R1, which is right here. Then it gives you the R2, which is right here. Then it gives you the support 1 right here, and the support 2 that's right here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I do it without the calculator because for some reason I can't get the calculator open on my Mac.
Oh, you can't? Interesting.
It's asking me for an app that I don't have, and it's not finding it in the App Store.
Is it asking you to open it in Sheets or what is it called? Because I'm on a MacBook right now.
Is yours open on Sheets?
Yeah, I think I'm open. I think it's yeah, it's like a green symbol with it's a green symbol with like bars on it. That's what mine's open in right now.
Okay.
Take a look at that one and see if you see it. But worst case scenario, I mean the calculations are definitely the calculations are in the what is it called?
One of the decks.
In one of the decks, so you can do the calculations yourself as well. But what I am doing though, I'm turning that particular pivot calculator into a app. Okay, so we will be on the app sooner than later. Okay.
Gotta hire high.
Yep, you see that? You see it right here on the 15-minute. Remember we said we wanted to see it. We wanted to see this candlestick right here break above. It broke above, fell back down and closed though. But this candlestick opened up and boom, this is a great scalp opportunity as well, right? Great scalp opportunity. Also, what I like to do as well, another great scalp opportunity I normally do. The third candlestick, for example, you see how it's moving up, making a higher high. This third candlestick right here, if it comes back to the 9 EMA, I mean, not the 9 EMA, but the trend line, sometimes I will do a scalp off of the bounce of the trend line with a tight stop loss, right? Tight stop loss.
Could you explain the scalp again? I missed that one.
Yep. So what a scalp means you can get into a play like Ms. Carmichael just did. You get into a play for less than 5 minutes, right? So you say, okay, I see this movement right here. I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to be in this trade for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and get right out. So you jump in, boom, jump right back out. That's a scalp. You don't plan on being in that trade long at all. You're just trying to make a couple dollars off of some quick price action. That's all.
Okay,
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
For the scouts, though, we will be looking, even though the trend line we made on the 15-minute, we will drop down to maybe the 5 or 1 minute first before just to make sure it's still in line with that, right?
Yep, you can. So, for example, if you came down here, you can come down here and say, okay, have your 15-minute, 5-minute up all at the same time, right?
I got you.
So, and that's what's gonna really make it that much grander. I'm on a 30-minute. When you can just look at your screen and see all of them at one time, right? But for example, I do scalps off of the 5-minute, but I still scalp off the 15-minute too, right? Because if I'm looking right here and I see that it came down some, I may enter in right here, stop loss somewhere down here just in case it breaks, and then boom, wait for it to make its move and go up and get out. But a lot of people like to scalp off the 5-minute and the 1 minute, which is great as well. So if you look at the 1 minute time frame, you see it came down here, touched the trend line, and then what did it do? Boom, take off. That's one of them. Came right here. This one didn't necessarily come down to it. I think this is the third touch, if I'm not mistaken. Came down to it, but it didn't really touch it as much. Didn't come close to it at all, actually, right? But you could definitely scalp off of the third. So let me repeat that. You can scalp off of the third candlestick, right? Normally the third candlestick when it's currently making higher lows, right? You can scalp on the up, going on a quick call, and you can do it the opposite way. If it's making lower highs coming from the top to the bottom, you can scalp on that third 15-minute candlestick as well. Okay. All right.
So much. My God.
This is the thing about it. This is what I want you to think about. It's not, right? It's not, because this is the reason why I'm telling you it's not so much. It sounds like so much because right now you are fairly new to it. But if you notice, that's why I said when I trade live like this right here, I said I want you to notice the things that I'm just doing. Does it seem like I'm looking at these things and it's taking me 30, 45 minutes to identify these things?
No.
Nope.
It's instant.
It's instantly. Why? Because I've been looking at it for so long. That's why I tell you that's the purpose. Like the 100 trades means so much, because the 100 trades, only thing it's doing is the most important thing it's doing is training your eye to see these things instantly. Like I instantly saw this trend line right here. Boom. Instantly saw it. I saw a higher low. Right? And now keep in mind, I see this higher low forming and passing. I don't even say nothing about it. Just say, okay, higher low, boom, keep going. Instantly. Right? But the more and more you trade, and that's why it's so powerful to be around it so much, the more and more you trade, these things gonna be seen like second nature to you. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second.
Manjaro helps your body regulate blood sugar, and Manjaro can help decrease how much food you eat. 3 out of 4 people
holding that trend line.
We need the information from who owned there, the water, because they asked for a water bill we've never had.
Who's this?
For the waterways.
Yo, my charts are like a whole half hour behind everybody.
You got real time data on?
Yeah.
What Chris was saying, like, so if that candlestick, that red one, if it closes below that trend line, then that trend line is invalid. So he'll erase it.
So we have.
Was off. Are you on the same time frame? Make sure you're on the same time frame because that will throw it off.
What y'all looking at?
20 days, 15 minutes.
Okay, so right here, you see we're back at this trend line, right? Back at this 15-minute trend line. We're currently touching the trend line right now. Okay, a break of this trend line can signal that we're going to possibly push back down. If a non-break, we can push back up towards this 400 level, this pivot level. Okay. I got a 5 minutes reacting right now. See what the 1 hour looks like. Now, perfect example. Right here. Let me see. I can wait for that to close and I'll show it. Okay. Somebody have a question when I had stepped away? Or y'all good now?
I think I figured it out. On my charts, I had it as set as my time, Eastern time or Standard or Central time. So I'm like a whole half hour behind you guys, but I changed it to Eastern Standard time. I think I'm at the same chart level as you guys are.
Yep.
So I do have a question. I'm probably going to be doing more of swing trading than day trading. So when I do this type of analysis, you do it the same way for swing trading?
Exact same way. Nothing changes. So for example, the pivots may not matter too much for you because you're going to be swing trading. It may assist you on your entry point. But your main thing, what you want to focus on when it comes to swing trading, you want to break everything down as far as, okay, where's my supply and demand on the 1 year, 1 day and all that good stuff. And then support resistance levels as well, like long-term support resistance levels. You want to be able to break all of those down and have a better understanding of where you are. So if I'm looking right here, I see that we potentially have a decision-making time, right, on the 1 year and 1 day time frame. Okay, so right here we have, and I know I got these levels here. I don't want to remove them so it's kind of hard to see a little bit. But you can see it's basically like decision-making time on the 1 year, 1 day, right? As you can see, we ran away right here, and now we're coming back to the non-EMA, right? Okay, so that's kind of how you want to evaluate that. You can also see that we did bounce out of a demand zone right here. Okay, we did bounce out of a demand zone right around here. Something else to think about. So you evaluate everything the exact same way. If you guys look right here, we have a potential trend line forming on the 1 year, 1 day. Say we start right here. Boom. Come right there. Look at that trend line that we have. Hit right here one time. Kind of hit right here. 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 Came down. Pushed back up. Came to this trend line. Hit right here. And when it hit right here a couple days ago, it pushed down. So would you guys consider this a strong trend line on the 1 year, 1 day?
Well, hold up though. I thought you said trend line. Okay, so if it had pushed above that, you would have. If it would have pushed it above that trend line, then it would become invalid.
Yep. If it would have pushed above it and closed above it, yes, invalid. But if it just pushed above it and then it pushed right down beneath it and the body closed beneath it, it's still valid. But that body closed above it is invalid. Okay? So, and think about it, and I think it was Ro, that was Ro last time who was talking. Ro, you see how I came to this 1 year, 1 day and just saw that trend line that fast?
Right.
That's how it's going to become to you. Like it's going to. It's not like it may come to me. No, it's going to happen. It's going to happen when you come to a screen, you see it just like that. Because you're going to be seeing it so much, it sticks out to you like a sore thumb. Like right here, for example. This area right here, this sticks out to me like a sore. Let me go back. Right here, this right here just sticks out to me. Right, all this right here tells me. As soon as I see this right here, I know it's a whole bunch of consolidation.
Is that consolidation? I see support.
Support. The thing about it, support consolidation, right? So look, support. If you keep seeing something bounce off support, that means it's consolidating on what? Support.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So it's support and then you come up here, find your resistance. Okay, got my resistance. Boo, yeah, I'm consolidating. I'm dating inside of a box right now, or I got my consolidation inside of a box, looking for that breakout to happen. Like this stuff is just gonna really and truly become like, boom, I see it. 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 Simple.
Hey, Chris.
What's
what
up?
do you mean when you say something is invalid? I want to make sure I'm
Yep.
clear.
So for example, this trend line right here, right? As long as this trend line is being respected, RTT, right? Respect the trend line. So right here, it became a trend. The start of the trend line. Right here, it became the trend line right here because 2 points meet. Right here, it confirmed that it was a trend line. So anything after this, as long as it hits it and rejects it, it's valid. So right here is still valid. Hit it right here, still valid. Came up right here, hit it, still valid. If this one would have broke above it and kept going, it would have been invalid now. It's not that trend line did not hold true anymore. Yes, that trend line did not hold true anymore. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No problem.
It's a trend line is almost like a
say it. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Like it's almost like a ceiling with a slope.
Booyah!
Or a resistance or support.
There you go. Remember, like I told you, the most technical analysis things focus on strictly support and resistance. But you have different types of support resistance. Remember, if you go back to the deck, you will see it's called the trend line support and resistance. This is not the only thing this trend line is a support and resistance level. But it's like you say the angle, it's a slope.
The negative slope here.
That's it. And if it's going up, it's nothing but a support level of resistance. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's it. When you think about supply and demand zones, supply and demand zones are mostly support and resistance zones, not level zones. Right? So it's like you go from playing man-to-man ball to playing 2-3 zone. It had the 2-3 zone, each person covers a certain area, right? Man-to-man, you covering that one man. The man is like the level, the zone is 2-3. If that makes sense. Okay? So that's the 1 year, 1 day. And all of these things do something to you. This right here, so we know for a fact the next time this stock comes to this blue line, trend line, this is why once you draw this trend on the 1 year, 1 day, you leave it there until it becomes invalid. We know as soon as the next time this candlestick breaks, comes to this trend line, we either going to reject or we're going to break through. Therefore, this could be possible entry point for us, especially on the 1 year, 1 day. Call or put. If it rejects, potential for What's up, bud? If it rejects, it's potential for a put. If it breaks through, potential for a call.
And yet that needs to be confirmed by 2 or 3 days.
This thing about it, this right, you mean like if it tested?
Yeah, because you said you want the candlesticks, and you want to, so it doesn't fall back through the hole, quote unquote.
There you go.
Sure that, you don't fall back through the hole on the first one, so it has to retest. But the
There you go.
in this example would be not.
No, you want to get into a swing trade mode. Well, it depends on how long you're going to swing. Hold on, one to my son real quick. So to answer your question, when it relates to swing trading, so if you think about swing trading off of the 15-minute, you normally would not do swing trades off of the 15-minute. What you would do is you can get into a trade off of the 15-minute, right? A potential day trade off the 15-minute, and potentially do what? You can potentially swing it if you wanted to. Right, if you feel like you want to, but you would also want to look at that the 1 hour time frame for a short term swing, maybe like an overnight swing. Focus on that 1 hour time frame to see what story the 1 hour is telling us. Do we have any type of bullish candlesticks or bearish candlesticks? Are we at a demand zone, supply zone? Look at that on the 1 hour time frame, and that'll help you with a short term swing, like a 1 day overnight swing type thing. Okay, but when it comes mostly to you say I'm gonna buy a 2, 3, 4 month expiration date. You want to make that you want to look at the 1 year, 1 day to enter in, but you want to look at the week as well to see the 3 year, 1 week to kind of see what the price action is showing. Make sense?
That price action is getting me too.
Yeah, it's gonna get you for a second, right? And the thing about it is, remember everybody, you guys are definitely just looking at this for the first time. And it's gonna take time, because trust and believe. When I lost $62,000, it wasn't because I wanted to, right? It's because I didn't know what I was looking at. Listen, I didn't know what a price action was. I didn't know what a support resistance was. I didn't know what a trend line was. Let me tell y'all how my screen look, y'all. This is how my screen looked when I first started. Let me break this down to y'all right quick. I gotta show it to you. Check this out. Let's clear all this.
How long have you been doing this for?
This is going on my 4th year now. Yep, going in my 4th plus year. And think about this, I look at this stuff every single day for almost 1,000 days. Almost 1,300 days. Think about when you go to your full-time job. You go to your full-time job, they give you 2 weeks to they get you 2 weeks for your ramp-up time, right? After that, get to work. And then the more and more you do it, the better, right?
Man, I'm tired of that full-time job.
Is YouTube the only place that you post these live trading days?
Say it again.
YouTube the only place that you post these live trading days, the recordings?
Yes, it's only gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, I don't post these. There's so many of them. I blow up my computer. Yeah, blow up my computer. So when I first started, everybody, I had this is what my screen looked like. I had the 15. I'm gonna leave these EMAs here, but I had the 15. Let me see. The 15 SMA, not the EMA. What's up, bud? You want to say hey? He want to say hey to everybody. Say hey to everybody. Say hey. Can y'all see him? Y'all can't see him anyway. Say hey. How you doing? Say I just woke up. 15 EMA and a 20 EMA. Well, SMA really. Didn't have a 200. I didn't have I had an RSI and I had this volume right here, but my volume was, what was that indicator I used? I don't even remember that indicator. That's how bad it was. But anyway, this how my screen looked. 15. All right, I didn't save none of that. I'm not gonna go back through, but I had the 15 EMA and 20 EMA. And what I used to do was I would come here, and if I saw on the screen that it made a high, I would buy a put. And I did that for 3 weeks, y'all, and made $3,000. So the next week, that fourth week came, guess what I did? Hey, I see AMD right here. This stock right here. Where is it at? My first time even trading AMD. I was trading Cisco and XOM when I first started. This thing made a high. Okay, put time. But guess what AMD did? Everything kept going up. Kept going up. So that night I went to sleep. Okay, it's going to go down because it made a high, going to go down. Woke up next morning, kept going up. Woke up next morning, kept going up. That account balance said 500 done. I'm like, holy crap. Right? Because I didn't know what a support resistance was. I didn't know what a trend line was. I didn't know what a supply and demand zone was. I didn't understand none of this stuff. Right? And then when it all came to a head, when I started understanding all this stuff and getting better and better and better and understanding it, it all became because I spent time with the charts. And that's why now I can go into these charts and see, okay, boom, level. I can come to these charts and see, boom, this levels all day. I see right here, I see a whole upward trend right here. AMD, whole upward trend right around here. Boom, trend line right here, 15-minute trend line. Go to the 1 hour time frame. Look at that 1 hour time frame trend line. Look how that trend line looked. Just like that. Hit right here, came up, came back to it, boom, bounce, hit right here, came back, bounced off of it, came right here, bounced off of it. So if I'm looking at AMD, I'm looking for AMD to fall back down to this trend line potentially and see what's going to happen from there.
Hey, so I see something else. I'm just saying, it has a trend line on the top too.
There you go. Yep, there you go. There you go. Trading, there you go. There you go. Look at it. Right there. So now you can see, okay, we started right here. We came down this level, came up to this level, fell back down this level, came this level, fell back this level, came to this level. So in your mind right now, you're saying if this is going to continue, where is this particular stock going? It's going close to up here. Right. And when it gets here, based off historical data the past 3 times, it's going to push back down potentially. Right? This is what the market is telling. These are the stories that you're going to start, because the more time you spend looking at it, the more time you spend with me, you're going to start seeing these things like night and day. The more time you spend with JT, the more time you spend with Davon, these things are going to stick out like a sore thumb to you. So you're going to know for 100% fact, if I see this stock is up here, I'm not buying a call on AMD.
Right.
You're going to know for 100% fact, if it's right down here, I'm not buying a put on AMD until it breaks through. And then when it breaks through, I wanted to come back and do what? Potentially retest. But then you say, well, Chris, this is only the trend line. Exactly. Now, where's my supply zone? Where's my demand zone? Off top, I know we got a demand zone right here. We got a demand zone right there. That's a pretty far away demand zone, but that's one demand zone on the 1 hour, right? That's one demand zone. Okay, we could possibly keep making some more as we go up on 1 hour. This is another demand zone that we can make right here. Boom, that's another demand zone we can make. Okay, so on and so on. Supply zone, boom, we can make a 15-minute supply zone right around here. Oh, wow, we're in a supply zone right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is just really going to become secondhand to you. And that's why I tell you, the more time you spend with it, the better you're going to become at it. And the better you become at it, you're going to realize, oh, I'm in a demand zone. Okay, I'm going to get into my demand on this play in this demand zone. Boom, do a call option, set my stop loss right there. Boom, I just made a quick 15, 20%. Let me get out, CYC, close my computer, and go see what the kids doing. Go take my wife out to dinner. Go take my wife out to lunch. Take your husband out to lunch. Take your husband out to dinner. Whatever. Go back into work and actually do your real job. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how it's gonna become. But I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to think, oh, I just can't get it. Anybody who saying they can't get it right now, I do not ever want to hear you say that. Because you've only been in this mastermind. You was in the mastermind for 5 days, and now you out here in this real world trying to make it happen. You in stage 3 of the psychology of trading. Can you stand the rain? New edition.
Sir.
You got one. Listen, you got one. This is the crazy thing. You got one more step to make to get to babyface. But if you quit, it's gonna take you back 2 steps back to Tevin Campbell. So would you rather go back 2 steps or just walk forward 1 step? But the problem is you got to be willing to put the work in to make that 1 step. Because it's easy to go back 2 steps. It's hard to go forward 1 step. You got to make that decision which one you're going to do. And then you guys here right now, so how it look to me, you want to make that 1 step up. And right now, before we get out of here, look at this price action. Look at price action right now. Price action is hovering above right around the 90 in May on the 15-minute time frame, right? Price action is kind of showing us that, okay, we're more so the buyers are trying to hold this thing up right now because they're waiting and listening to what Jerome Powell is saying. Okay? And if, for example, let me kind of just show you guys how it looks when what's going on when I'm saying Powell speaking, so you guys will just kind of have a view of in your mind, okay, what is this man talking about? We're talking about Jerome Powell is speaking. Let's take a look at it. Let's see. Let's see.
Hey there. Guess who just found another way to save more money by switching to Food Lion private brand? And they have so many affordable items. Fajita nachos coming up. And my family loves it. That's all I need to hear.
Come for the breathtaking beaches.
What up, Andrew?
Oh, man.
Got you on blast, man.
Nice.
Invade Taiwan, and your answer at that point was no. You passed a bill out of this committee last week to ask the administration, basically, to start thinking about that in those terms. What kind of...
So this is what I'm saying. So what's going on right now, this is Jerome Powell speaking. This is they're asking Jerome Powell questions the Senate is, and he's testifying before the Senate. So this is what's going on right now. This crazy thing about it. That's Jerome Powell, everybody. Call him Powell puts. Because the majority of the time when this man starts talking, the market goes down, down, baby, your street in the Range Rover. Okay? Sometimes it goes crazy up too, though.
We're going to take your advice on the different aspects of this.
I mean, honestly, when the sanctions were being put in place, Treasury was doing it. We weren't doing it.
Okay.
And that's the way it works.
Next question. There was an article again in one of the local newspapers yesterday, I guess it was, and it talked about that's what's happening. That's what's happening when Jerome Powell is speaking. Right, he's speaking right now, and this is why the market is doing this right here. Yesterday when he spoke, the Fed now has a negative income.
This what the market did. This right here,
so
drop down.
That the Fed will simply borrow the money,
right?
To pay the
one man should not have all that power, but he does have that power.
Losing money right now as a result of the way you've got your,
yes, sir.
These debt and borrowings that you've purchased structured.
The place I would start is
that
the Fed has, we always turn over all of our earnings in every year. We turn on
SPY daily. Let's check it out.
And we've turned over something like $1.2 trillion earnings just in the last.
You see it? Yep, you see it. Let me share my screen.
When we raise interest.
Yep, yeah, I thought I was sharing it, but I guess I wasn't. Look right here.
I agree with the point that we have a negative income right now. So this makes my point.
What I got?
Or my concern is.
Pause that. Okay, here we go. Upward movement. Boom. Push up, push down. Is this a bearish candlestick or a bullish candlestick? And I think we just bearish, and we actually discussed this in class in the class, if I'm not mistaken. I told you guys to take a look at this. What's forming a potential bearish candlestick right here on the 1 year, 1 day. Bearish candlestick. Boom, boom, boom. Big boy. Now let's pull the deck up and see what the deck said. What day was that in that? Which deck was that?
I think that was day 2, I believe.
Day 2 deck. I don't know if I have it right here. Day 2, day 6. Day 2 right here. Boom. Let me see if that's it. No, this was day 1. It was day 1, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right here. Boom. So check this out, everybody. In the deck, day 1 deck. Does that not look familiar to you right here? Look right here. Does that not look familiar? Upward movement. Boom, boom, boom. Push down. Big boy red candlestick. Look right here.
That look exactly like
Upward movement. Boom, boom, boom. Big boy candlestick.
So my question is,
your question is, will the next candlestick this candlestick right here continue to go down, right?
okay.
That's your next question, right? Because
Yeah, I was saying if it continued to go down, would I enter into a swing after that next candle? Or how many more candles would I need for confirmation before I try to, get into a swing?
that's a great question. Great question. Let's look at other indicators. Right now, the 9 EMA is what? Back at the owner. Kind of sort of and rejected the owner a little bit, right? We at 400, we at the 400 level, which is the 400 level is a strong level, right? Yep. The psychological level. Boom. We have I did erase my pivots, didn't I? We got a pivot at the 400 level. Okay? So what I'm seeing is if we reject this 400 level, that's an opportunity for a put. Rejection of 400 is an opportunity for a put. Now, keep in mind this. The closer you get into a play at the 400 level, the better. Why is that, Chris? Because if I got a pivot sitting right here, right around here, right? The closer I get to the 400 level, if I get into a play, I can put a stop loss right above here. I'm minimizing my risk and I'm maximizing my reward all the way back down here. You follow me? Make sense?
So is that what Myron was talking about last night? This might be the one.
Yeah, so Myron was saying yesterday this might be the one. He was saying, okay, what the Fed said yesterday and so on and so on, this could be the one that breaks 390, breaks 380, and go down and make a potential lower low. The problem is the market doesn't want it to be the one. The market doesn't want this thing to go back down to 350 or 360 or 370. The market does not want it, right? That's why you see this right here. What you're seeing right here is nothing but people in the market listening to every single word Jerome Powell is saying. That's why it's consolidating. It's consolidating because everybody's just listening to every single word Jerome Powell is saying to dissect what he's saying, to get an idea of what the Feds are going to do. Jerome Powell, what he said yesterday, put fear in the market. That's why we're below 400 again. If Jerome Powell's the next thing that's going to drive this market down for it to be the one, if Jerome Powell and his team come up here and say, we are going to raise interest rates back up to 0.5 basis points. If that happens, the market is going to go straight down. Because if you raise back up to 0.50, that means the data's coming in saying inflation is going back up. If inflation starts to go back up, that means the Feds have to be more aggressive. If the Feds have to be more aggressive, that means the market is going to fall down. Therefore, do we care if we're in stock option trading? We care zip zero, stingy with De Niro. Because if we hear it's going up 0.5 basis points, we on that done did it going straight down. Right? If we hear they're going to stop raising rates altogether, we're all the way up. Fat Joe, remember. Okay. All right, everybody.
So should I wait till like right before close to kind of see where it's at to determine if I should make a swing, a put or not, or is it? You think that news is going to break more so sooner than later?
Well, FOMC is not. I forgot. FOMC is not until what? A few. Maybe next month, I'm not mistaken. I got to check and see what FOMC is again. But as far as your play, think about this, Quincy. It depends on what you plan on doing. If you're planning on really swinging this thing trying to swing it down to 390 or something like that, or three to see if it's going to break 390. I would advise you, if you do swing, make sure you're out by 392, or make sure you have locked in profits by the time you get to 392. Why do I say that? Let me share my screen one time before we get out of here.
That's a demand zone, right?
That's a demand zone, exactly. And that's the same zone right here that we bounced and went on a 2-day run at the last time. Right here, this 391 right here.
Yep.
Demand zone. And we bounced the last time we came to this level, we bounced and went up to 400 and whatever this is, right? Based off of no real news. Okay? And if you look right here as well, we had a head and shoulder pattern right here. What is a head and shoulder pattern? Look at here. It went up, boom, boom, boom. That's a shoulder. Right here at the top is a shoulder. Fell down. Boom. Came up here, made the head. Fell down. Boom. Came right here, made the shoulder. And boom, flood down, head and shoulders. Okay? That happened as well. And we identified this yesterday when we was trading live in the program. We identified this. Nick saw it on the 15-minute. I saw it on the 1 hour. And as you know, I got into my put play, but I got stopped out because of the volatility. Because of the volatility, exactly. But if I wouldn't have got stopped out, I would have got all of this money right here, buddy. All of that money. But anyway, but so that's it, y'all. So everybody, another Wealth Wednesdays. There was no trades. Why was there no trades? Because we don't force trades. I'm not just gonna make trades just so you guys can see me make a trade, right? We don't force trades. And as you can understand, what did I have up? I say I was not entering into calls until we broke above 400 and not entering into puts until I think wherever my pivot area was, right around here. Okay. And as you can see, by me not forcing a trade, I did not get chopped up with my money. If I would have got into a trade, I would have lost money no matter if it went down or up. I would have lost money unless I was scalping because of choppiness right here. Because of choppiness right there. Okay. So with that being said, 1 second, let me show my face before I get out of here. 1 second. Let me show my face.
Gotta have that discipline.
You gotta have that discipline. That's how you make money in the stock market. Not if you're not disciplined, you will never make any money in the stock market. All right. So everyone, Wealth Wednesday. I do this every Wednesday, right? Wealth Wednesdays, live trading. The whole thing is to show you guys the stuff in real action, and not just show you, not just show you, hey, oh, I made $1,500. Oh, I lost $1,000. Just to show you, hey, this is the things you're looking at, right? I want to show you guys so you can know what you're getting into, what your life, how your day-to-day life will be when you start trading. All these other things that's happening in life, I want to show it to you in real time, and you get to see if I win, lose, or draw. Like I said when I was on the Social Proof podcast, if I'm losing money, my screen is not gonna accidentally shut off, and I lost service or something, right? You're gonna see the whole thing. I believe that's very important for you guys to see wins and losses. Okay, so next Wednesday we're here again. Everybody that's in the mastermind, remember Thursday is the last day to apply. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call. We're closing everything in right now. The team's working real hard, so some people will receive phone calls from us and so on. But listen, I enjoyed the mastermind, everybody. I enjoyed the mastermind. The next mastermind is April 17th. Okay, April 17th is the next mastermind. Everyone will, if you want to, you can be an affiliate, tell a friend, and you get 50% of whatever the price is. Okay.
April 17th?
April 17th is the next mastermind, yes. Cool. All right, everyone. Listen, y'all have a good one. And also, everyone, you all will have free access. If you took the mastermind now, you have free access to all the other masterminds as well if you want to be a part of it. Because I know some people love just to continue to come to them, because they hear something that sticks out to them the next time because they're hearing it with new ears. With seasoned ears, I guess you can say.
What's the next one?
April 17th.
Copy.
Yep.
Will that be the same price as this one? Or?
Yes, same price. I mean, you don't have to pay because you're part of the use on this mastermind, but somebody else, yes. Yep, it's same price, $497 and $297. Cool. All right, everyone, y'all have a good one. All praise to the Most High.